Welcome to Shenington for round one of the 2016 Easykart Championships. If you love all things motorsport, this is where it starts. As with any new motorsport season, where better to start than a chat with the championship organisers? Earlier, we spoke to Andy Cox and John Viger.
Andy, 10th year of Easykart this season, always exciting at the start of a new season. What are you looking forward to this year?
Well, we've got a lot of new drivers, which is really encouraging, and especially the youngsters. A lot of 7 and 8 year olds in the cadets, so obviously that's where it's starting. And yeah, 10 years, it's a long time. It's, together with John, we've come a long way. We've developed the brand, so, it's looking very, very healthy. So that's positive.
And John, just coming to you, you've been commentating yesterday on the time session, so you're the man to ask, I guess, on who's looking good so far. Let's go through the classes. Cadets first, who's looking good there?
Oliver Gray, he was outstanding last season. First season as a rookie, won the rookie championship, finished 5th overall in the cadets, and he was outstanding at the final round at Buckmore last year. He was just untouchable, and he's come in with a bang yesterday during practice, and I think he's going to be the hot favourite this year in the cadets. Oliver Gray's your man.
Okay, and in juniors last year, Sam Faulkner, of course, dominated that class all season pretty much. It wasn't that exciting a lot of the rounds. Are we going to see more exciting racing in juniors this year, do you think?
Definitely. As Andy said, we've got a lot of new juniors joining us this year. Very, very healthy grid in junior class. And I think it's going to be very competitive indeed. And to try and pick a winner out the juniors is going to be very difficult. So I'm not going to commit to that one.
Okay, and slightly different. Tell me who can't win. Joe Patterson's not looking good, is he?
Now, I fell into this trap last year, so I'm not going to fall into it again. I had to actually physically eat my hat at the awards last month. So, no, I'm not going to start to predicting who can't win and who's going to struggle or whatever. Joe Patterson's going for a triple crown, 3 in a row, and so I'm not going to put the bockers on him. So I think he's got to be starting as favourite in the Masters class. That's going to be my favourite class this year, I think, the Masters. It was exciting in the warm-ups yesterday, the practice runs, P4 and 5, and that is really going to be the class to watch because the drivers have upped their game and it is going to be competitive, no doubt. But I'm not going to say that Joe Patterson's not going to win.
And obviously in the lights class as well, Pat Lay obviously going to probably coming in as favourite, but Sam Faulkner looks like he's going to push him all the way.
Hey, do you know what? Yesterday, Sam Faulkner, he was quickest in P4 and 5, both sessions. Now, obviously, you don't know what tyres they've got on during practice and stuff like that, but, you've got to look at it as a benchmark. And for sure, Sam Faulkner, he's been so looking forward to getting himself up to the senior class, making that age so he can get in there. He's got himself out of juniors now, and now he's really excited, and he's showing the form already out there. He was quick yesterday, very much so.
And that's one of the things that we changed, for this year. John and I thought it'd be like really spice it up. Even though yesterday is not an official practice, time thing. We thought in the afternoon everyone get the live timing on, so the guys can all see where they're at, so they get stressed overnight, which is quite funny, instead of this morning. And also, John gets dialed into, who, like you said, who's doing what. So, yeah, as John said, Sam was very quick yesterday, but also, it's all about the drivers progressing. So we've got cadets that have moved to juniors. So now they're probably hopefully less nervous because they sort of think, well, actually, I'm not doing too bad. Or maybe Sam's thinking, oh, yeah, I've got this in the bag, which I'm sure he won't have. So it's a lot more interesting, the format now on a Saturday afternoon.
And you're talking about drivers progressing there. Talk a little bit about Jake Hughes. You must be very proud of what Jake's achieves in GP3. We did an interview with him yesterday, which is coming up later. Fantastic story.
Well, yeah, I mean, Jake obviously came into Easykart. He's a Brummie lad, which is good for me. I remember we were at Lyd and he came in. He was a novice, and it was raining, and he was miles in the lead. Who's this kid? And then he made a mistake, and then obviously carried on in Easykart and eventually won the Easykart E-Plate. It just shows when he went into single seaters, he won I think it was the Formula 4 single seater championship. First attempt, being nominated for McLaren Autosport driver twice, won races in Renault, and now he's got a big opportunity in GP3. So it's nice to keep the link, and he's got Easykart, I think some Easykart stuff on his suit and the car. So it's nice to keep the, like alumni going, if you like.
Jake, you're in GP3 this year, but that's not where you started. You started in Easykart. Tell us a little bit about your history.
Yeah, I mean, I started karting relatively late, 16 years old in my first season. I came across Easykart just from the internet. I searched in local karting teams in Google, and up came Andy Cox Racing. And so we asked Andy, what karting is all about, and he gave us opinion on what I should do to get into it, which was Easykart. So I went to a local track, Easington, had my first test in a proper British Championship go-kart, and I loved it straight away. It's like exactly what I've been wanting to do, and it probably took me 10 years 10 years too long to realise what I wanted to be doing. So I started Easykart my first season in 2010.
That's very unusual, of course. People starting MSA karting these days in Bambino at 6 years of age, MSA classes, cadet classes at 8 years of age, of course. You can start in the cadet class at Easykart in the year of your 8th birthday. You're a driver mentor these days around Easykart. How important do you think that is for the kids to get in at a younger age? And you started at 16, of course, that's quite late, but how important do you think it is to try and get in as early as possible?
It's really important to get used to the racecraft as early as possible. If you're lucky enough to go up into car racing, the biggest thing you take into it from what you learnt in karting is the racecraft, the ability to overtake, defend, manage a race, and you can learn all that when you're 8 years old in a cadet kart, even more so than you do in a car. So I would always encourage it personally. Obviously, I missed out on it, and it doesn't really. Whilst I encourage it, it didn't really impact me too much to go on to do what I've done. But I can see from other people that have grown up through karting through the different stages, all the way from cadets, that they take a lot from it. So I would always encourage it.
And in terms of people moving on through the upper echelons of motorsport, you're an example of someone that's done it with talent rather than just with money. We see plenty of people just with money, and we could argue not so much talent. You've done it the other way round, talent ahead of money, but how difficult has it been for you to raise the finance necessary?
Extremely difficult. I realised quite early on that I'd started very late, so for me I noticed that I would have to be almost a step above my competition to be able to get noticed, to be able to get onto the the radar of people, sponsors. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of programs that help drivers nowadays, but mainly I do it with sponsors. So to be able to attract them, I had to be winning basically, and I realised that pretty early on. And to be honest, Easykart really prepared me for that. The karts are so similar. I've done in different forms of karting, but nothing prepared me for the closeness of competition like Easykart did. The karts are pretty much exactly the same. The levels of setup that you can change are extremely minimal. So it put the emphasis on the driver to be able to find their advantage in lap time and performances in the races also. So I think that it prepared me well for going into the car racing scene, to be able to take any opportunity I got, and still having to do so now. Every level you do becomes the most important year all of a sudden for your career, and the only way you keep it going is to keep winning. And something like Easykart really prepared me for that.
And it's nice to see people like yourself in GP3 coming back to your roots, helping the younger children. We don't see that with a lot of drivers, but great to see you back here. And it's something we've seen before with other drivers who have moved on and up the classes, coming back to Easykart. It seems to be a real family here. It's a very friendly atmosphere compared to some paddocks. What have you seen this weekend that encourages you about the sport and Easykart moving forward?
the level of, the amount of people in the cadets and the juniors is extremely promising for some in the younger age groups. The seniors have always been popular, but the family atmosphere that it has attracts that. But the cadets and juniors, to have that amount of young drivers already trying to start out and learn their craft is it's extremely promising that the sport is in this country is still going to be well looked after with the future drivers. But I love coming back to karting. The car racing paddocks are cool. The tracks are cool, but it's never will have the family atmosphere that a karting paddock does, and most importantly what Easykart does. So to come back here and you get the feeling again why you like racing, why you enjoy racing. There's no sort of animosity between anyone. You can chat about what setups you're running here, and someone most likely will tell you the truth. So it's just really refreshing to come back and realise why you like doing it.
And anybody you've got your eye on this weekend that's impressed you so far?
There's a few. I've been looking after some drivers in cadets and juniors. Don't really want to name names because I don't want to do anyone else disservice, but there's a few drivers I think they'll probably know who they are because they're very quick, that are doing extremely well so far today in the test day. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully they get results they want this weekend.
Well, Jake Hughes is now in the Formula One paddock, and it all began at Easykart level. So let's see if these guys can follow in his footsteps. Tyrone Stansfield and Harry Graham on the first junior grid of the year on the front row, both up from cadets, with Will Martin and Matt Rainbow on the second row. Look at Harry Barlow, though, early championship favourite as the 4-plate down on row 7 of this starting grid. It'll be interesting to see if he can fight his way through. Out of the final turn, across the line, and away we go for Easykarts in 2016 in the junior category. And into the lead straight away, Ty Stansfield has put his nose out in front. A little bit leery through the first corner in the mid-pack, but everybody's through cleanly, and Stansfield has hit the front very nice and easy out in front. Graham along with him too in second position as they tighten up for the right-hander hairpin for the first time. There's a spinner in the back of the pack and into the tyres. That is Massarella, who's gone round to the back of the field now as a result of that spin. The young 13-year-old from Cambridge has had a bit of a topsy-turvy start to his season, and no doubt he'll be fighting his way through once again. So Stansfield and Graham out in front. Third position is Rainbow, and fourth is Goodman. And these two are already pulling away. Don't forget, for Stansfield and for Graham, this is their first race as a junior, up from cadets last year, and already they're at the front. All of those boys who came into this season thinking, well, I was top 6 last year, I've got a good chance. They didn't reckon for Stansfield and Graham. They've already gone out to prove they are world beaters in the early part of the season. There's Graham in second position, the 79 kart. Young man from Leamington Spa, and it's getting a little bit leery for third position. Tucking in behind Rainbow, that's Toby Goodman for fourth position. Trying to make a move for fifth place, that is the 104 of Morgan Root. Hasn't quite made the move stick, but he definitely looks very racy in the early stages of this one. But they're all starting to lose ground to these two up in front. Look at the gap already, halfway through the second lap. And these guys are going to have to work together to get back onto the back of them. And that looks like that's exactly what they're trying to do. Now, there's Will Martin, the 60, you can see, leading rookie in the race at the moment. They're in P5 at the moment. And that looked to me as though Rainbow was about to get taken by Goodman. Goodman's still there, round the outside. Has he managed to make the move down towards the hairpin? He's still there and side by side for third as these two continue to battle. No, he's held the door firmly shut there, Matt Rainbow. Good work, sir. Currently running in P3, and look at this, a great squabble going on as Goodman now signals to the men behind him. No, I couldn't get by, that didn't work. I need to work further up the field, and you guys need to help me as we get a big wobble from Tom Massarella once again in the 101. Now we come to the end of the lap, and here again, these two, Stansfield and the 79 once more of Harry Graham. Graham is just biding his time here in second position. He doesn't need to go for the move yet. It's very early on in this race, and he can pick his moment. Through the hairpin, nicely done. And fourth position, Goodman leads the charge to try and go for that third place on the podium once again. Graham just has another look at Stansfield. It's not an overtaking move. He's just biding his time. If he knows he can psych Stansfield out by sitting on his gearbox and making him sweat, he might have an opportunity. Meanwhile, the 60, Will Martin, leading rookie in fifth position, is now starting to look like he's going to size up Goodman. There is Toby Goodman, 14 years of age, from Tame, and he's looking for an opportunity to get back into third position. He had third for about 2 to 3 meters, but it wasn't quite enough to get the job done permanently, and actually slotting into fourth position and working with the pack has now brought him right onto the tail of Matt Rainbow once again. A couple of choice moves through the field. That looked like Jamie Davison in the 100 making a move, so he's gone up a place. We look back, here's third position. Goodman's having a look round the outside. Rainbow's protecting to the inside. Here comes Will Martin up the inside, contact, but that's okay. He actually gesticulates there. That was not a problem, was it? Down to the inside line, almost 3 wide as Charlotte Fox tries to put her nose on the inside of Morgan Root. And in there for the fun too is Scott Huntley in the 6. Very, very close indeed as they run down the back straight of the circuit. And it looks as though these two well clear now. All that jostling has meant that it's going to be these two hunting for the victory. Worth pointing out at this point, the top seed coming into the 2016 season, Harry Barlow, number 4, still only 13th at this point. You can just about see him at the background of the picture here. Let's have a look for him. There he is, just in the mid-pack there, in 13th position. So he hasn't made the progress we expected, and that is a surprise. Shows you that we've got a really strong field this year. Up the inside, contact on the inside of Toby Goodman. That was Morgan Root trying to make the move. And the South Yorkshireman has got a very strong, attacking, aggressive stance this year. It's not over the top, it's just exactly how he needs to be. He saw a gap, went for it, and that was well executed there from Morgan Root. Meanwhile, these two, look at them, they've just disappeared as the rest of the field squabble. That's for 5th position. Up the inside, Charlotte Fox takes on the hounds and moves up past Toby Goodman. Very nicely done there as Charlotte Fox now moves into, I think that must be 5th position now. Very good work indeed. And she's one of the favourites for this championship as well. 8th last year, and that's why she wears the 8 plate. Down to the hairpin once more. These two still well clear. I'm very surprised that these two have been able to take it to the championship favourites coming in. I think this 2016 campaign could be a story of Stansfield versus Graham at this particular rate. Battle for 3rd position, still between those two, Matt Rainbow and 4th position Will Martin, the rookie, doing a fantastic job in his first race. Let's not forget about that. Out of the final turn, these two will come once again. This battle is only just getting started. Now the man on the move at the moment is the 106. Started P24, Toby Baldry. Now he's in 17th, so he's working his way through the field nicely. And I don't think he's done for the day either. We've got a cart in trouble there at the back. Now who is that that's lost time and places? That's the 69 that's fallen back, Zach Parkinson. So his 2016 season needs a little bit of an energy kick really now, doesn't it? So he can move on from this round and get to the next one with a lot more in the tank. Look at the gap back to 3rd position. Rainbow is still hanging on there with Will Martin behind him, and that's the length of the back straight practically between the top 2 and 3rd position. In fact, gesticulating in 3rd position. Rainbow's almost saying, where have they gone? What's the point? A 3rd position is all I can get from this one. But there's plenty of points to that, Rainbow. Consistency is the name of the game. You have to keep fighting. Now here's Charlotte Fox up to P5. One of the drivers in the Dare to Be Different scheme, new for the 2016 season, and started up, of course, by Formula One test driver from the past, Susie Wolf. You're going to see a lot more girls in the world of motorsport this year wearing those caps. And Charlotte Fox looks like a potential podium finisher over the course of the season. But look at Will Martin out of the hairpin. He's set him up beautifully for the move there through the right-hander. Takes the place up to 3rd position. Thanks very much for the memories, mate. I'm going to step on that podium and you're not, is the message from Will Martin. Charlotte Fox is closing in on these two though, and she might have something to say about who steps on that final podium rostrum, and right behind her is Toby Goodman, who of course was one of those originally gunning for that 3rd place. So he'll have something to say on the inside as Scott Huntley joins the party there. Kart number 6 you just see. Is that a move for 3rd? Not quite, because Will Martin hangs on to it. There are your two leaders, Stansfield and Graham. They're not battling, but this lot are. 3rd position, still very much up for grabs. Charlotte Fox might go for the inside line. There's a little bit of jostling for 5th position, and this is the opportunity to get into 6th place for Morgan Root. He might have a chance to come through here, past Toby Goodman in the 7, and not too far away, there is the 6 of Scott Huntley. Now, 8th position for the 6th plate is not really where he wanted to be, and that's a retirement, unfortunately. Lap 6, and we've lost Samuel Cunliffe. That's a real shame. Hopefully we'll see more of him in round 2. However, this is where the battle is joined. You can actually see Cunliffe's kart there. He's just pulled up the inside. Is this a move for 3rd position from Matt Rainbow? Has he been able to get the move done? Yes, he has. Only just, though. There was a minute gap to get through, and he does manage to pull it off. Back to the front. Now it's time for the 79, Harry Graham, to start thinking about a move on Tyrone Stansfield. He's not going to make the move yet. If I was him, I wouldn't do that until the penultimate lap, really. But he's got an opportunity now. He's starting to look at an opportunity. He's putting Stansfield under pressure. And every time Stansfield hears that engine noise accelerate onto his rear bumper, he will think, where is he? What side of the circuit is he going for? Is he going to try and make the move here? Should I defend? Should I continue on the attack? It's going to be so difficult to judge. Meanwhile, third position still up for grabs, and Will Martin has just repeated the move that Matt Rainbow put on him a lap ago, and that's tightened up Charlotte Fox again into fifth position. She has a genuine crack at the podium now, and it's going to be those three that fight for position. Down towards the Bruno Ferrari chicane go the leaders, and out of Stratford Hairpin comes Will Martin with a chasing pack behind him. Fourth place Rainbow, fifth place Fox. Back to sixth position, it's Goodman, who's still battling away with Root and Scott Huntley the sixth. Back to your leaders once more. Is this going to be the lap of the moment for Tyrone Stansfield to lose his lead, or is Harry Graham going to sit there a little bit longer? This is the battle towards the tail end. Harley Bush having a good battle there with the 66 of Jack Rigg as they continue to squabble for positions. Battles all the way through this field, and that shows you just how competitive it is at Easykart Junior level. Here's another championship contender we should be talking about, Seb Algieri, the 9 plate. He was very strong in the latter stages of last year, and I'm surprised he's not in this mix actually. He's at a very similar sort of race meeting to Harry Barlow. We thought he'd be closer to the sharp end, so maybe we'll see a little bit more from Seb Algieri at round 2. It's interesting how the form book has been completely rewritten coming into this round, and as I say that, it looks as though the plated drivers, the seeded drivers, are trying to get back into it. Rainbow makes the move for third and gets back past the rookie Will Martin. Let's see the gap. It's a long way back, but there is Martin swarming about all over the back of Rainbow with Fox in fifth position, and the 6th, 7th and 8th place drivers are in there as well now. Goodman, Root and Huntley, they're all in the gaggle, and there's 6 of them, a 6-cart train battling for the third step of the podium as Toby Goodman sets the fastest lap of the race, and that's why he's now on the tail of Charlotte Fox. Here we go. Fox is going to try and make the move on the inside of Will Martin. Doesn't quite have the legs to make that work. Tightening through the left-hander and out of the right flick of the Bruno Ferrari chicane. Down Hanger Straight and up towards Hanger Corner. Opportunity knocking. Will Martin's going to try and make the slipstream to the inside line. Beautiful overtake. What a switchback. And Fox is going to get through. And if we're not careful, Goodman's going to get there as well. Good defense from Rainbow. That's lessening the damage. Top 8 are covered by about 1/10 of a second. Not even, in fact. That shows you how even it is at the moment. Algieri just went through the shot, having a bit of a battle, while meanwhile further back, Kira Scott and Sky Siddle, I think that is, having a great battle. Up the inside comes the 104 though. Good move there from Morgan Root. This isn't the last we've seen of this battle, but poor Goodman is going backwards. Number 7 is now P7 as he drifts back towards the tail end of the top 6. Now, are we going to see Rainbow get back on terms with Charlotte Fox? Well, the rookie, Will Martin, is trying to pull clear here. Charlotte Fox going well in 4th position, still has an opportunity to get on the podium, but they've both got to keep an eye out for 5th position. That is the number 5, Matt Rainbow. So is Rainbow going to find an opportunity? Meanwhile, while all this is going on, the battle is starting to cook up for the lead. We did say it would be the latter part of the race when these two would battle for victory, but don't forget, these two are a mile or two out in front in karting terms, but if these two take each other out, well, the battle for 3rd position becomes a battle for the victory. So those guys in 3rd position are still fighting for all their worth. Stansfield holds the inside line. Good cover into Wilkins. Now what can Graham do? Out of the final turn. Down Park Straight. Over the line. Still good battling in the mid-pack. You can see just how close it is after the laps we've done. There's Sky Siddle. First race in Easykart, the 15-year-old from Chesterfield, and already making a good impression, knocking on the door of the top 10 in her first outing. There's a lot of talent in Great Britain. We know what we're doing when it comes to karting, and Easykart is one of the very best places to demonstrate that talent. Here we go for 3rd position. Charlotte Fox is having a look. Not quite able to get the job done though, but up to 6th place comes the 7 of Goodman. So Goodman gets past Morgan Root. And is Huntley, sitting at the back of this queue, going to reap the benefits? This pack of drivers could get quite sporadic in the last couple of laps, and there might be quite a benefit in touch. Fox goes for the inside and Hanger Corner. That's a really tricky move to make, and what a pass into Wilkins, up to 3rd position. Will Martin looks to cover, and that's opened the floodgates. Rainbow's going to come through here, up into 4th position. Very good move indeed there from Charlotte Fox to get into 3rd position. And look, Root's got back onto the inside line to take 4th place back, and that's allowed Charlotte Fox a window of opportunity. Look at that. That could be 3rd position decided. Up the inside comes Goodman. It's now or never. You've got to get past if you want to make this happen. Rainbow's going through as well. There's a little bit of jostling. Will Martin gesticulates. Get off! Into the Bruno Ferrari chicane. Right, left, right. Back onto the back straight once again. Fox has now got a good advantage from Goodman, but Goodman is the fastest man of the race, and he will want to get that 3rd place back up the inside in the right-hander and finishing the job at Wilkins. Rainbow gets past Martin, so too does Morgan Root. That wasn't a bad move from Will Martin, that was just inexperience. Now he knows what to expect in this first weekend of Easykarts in the championship, and he'll be ready next time to deal with that should the opportunity arise again. Now we've got traffic for the leaders. Not a major problem as they get out of the way. Harley Bush getting out of the way there. Still in that battle with Jack Rigg. Penultimate lap of the race. Looks like Fox and Goodman are going to go toe-to-toe for 3rd position. Here are your 2 leaders. We're on the penultimate lap, and this is game time, Harry. Come on, you need to find a way past Tyrone Stansfield if you're going to get the victory. We're into the last lap. I wonder if he's left this a little bit too late, because he really needed to get past him on the previous lap if he wanted to get the move done. For Harry Graham, maybe he's got a trick up his sleeve we don't know about yet. Once again, they come down the Stratford Straight. He's having a look. Good defence from Tyrone Stansfield. Come on, I've been leading this race for 19 laps. Do you think I'm going to hand it to you on a silver plate? No chance. And he hangs on through the Bruno Ferrari chicane they go. Again, Stansfield, he's just been sizing up this race beautifully. This is their first race out of cadets. They've dominated the pair of them, and this is absolutely textbook defence from Stansfield. Graham's going to need to make a big lunge, but Stansfield is already protecting that lead out of the final turn. Graham does look very racy coming out of the final turn though. He's off to his right. Oh, that was close. Stansfield just hangs on in there from Graham. That could not have been closer if you'd have asked it to be. That was amazing. And 3rd position. Oh, Goodman's stolen it. Goodman's stolen 3rd on the final lap from Charlotte Fox. So Fox comes through for 4th position. Matt Rainbow is going to come through for P5. Look at the gap between them as they came across the line. That's a cigarette paper. Nothing between them at all. Tyrone Stansfield gets the victory. Harry Graham 2nd from Goodman, Fox and Rainbow with Root in 6th position. Good work from Will Martin to be in the top 10. From Scott Huntley, Harry Barlow and Seb Algieri rounding out the top 10. What a start to 2016.
Tyrone, cadet class, last couple of seasons with us, moving up into the senior class this year, into the junior class, shall I say, this year. And how are you finding it?
Difficult, because, yeah.
Well, I don't think you are finding it difficult because you've come in for your first race ever in a junior kart and you've won the race. So did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, but there's a lot of battling with Harry Graham at the front.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, Harry Graham as well, another promoter from the cadet class coming up there. But the great thing is that, you know, you two knowing each other from racing the last couple of seasons in cadets, that you can trust each other. A little bit like Joe Patterson and Sam in the heavies there. And I think that's going to bode well for going down further down the season. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good.
That sounds good. Okay, no worries, Tyrone. Well, listen, well done indeed. You've done very well indeed to come up into the juniors and win your first race here at Shenington. So I know that you haven't raced at Teesside before, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it. It's a big circuit, a very fast circuit as well. So very good. Best of luck for that one. Okay, cheers, mate.
Thank you, and I'd like to thank my sponsors. Oh, I've forgotten now. Kingwell Environmental, Jimmy Finch, and Canby Tatum.
Always remember those sponsors, Tyrone. They helped you win today. And that's going to be the story of 2016, perhaps. Tyrone Stansfield versus Harry Graham, with Rainbow, Goodman, Martin and Root rounding out the top 6. Great start to the season. In part 2, we move on to the Easykart Cadets.